This question is more personal. Can each of you give us any example of how you have contributed to a better world, or perhaps narrate an experience that has transformed your own outlook on life and the need to act sustainably?
Earlier on, when I was talking about the philosophy of yoga being a philosophy of sensitivity to all beings, I had a personal experience when I just joined the monastery about 24 years back. In India, when we joined monasteries, even in our homes, we didn't have laundromats and washing machines. We just had the traditional Indian way of doing our laundry. We would have detergent in water, and we would soak the clothes for about 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, we would rinse them in another bucket of clean water. That was just how we did it. So I came to a monastery, obviously, and we didn't have a laundromat. And up until then, I was 21 when I joined the monastery. Up until then, the laundry was always done by my mom. So here I was now in a monastery, never ever did my laundry, and I'm confronted with this orientation now of learning how to do my laundry. So I learned it. And one day I remember I had to go for an event. I'd soaked my clothes in detergent and water for 30 minutes. And then I went to the bathroom, now to rinse them in another bucket of clean water. But being a little lazy of who's going to bend down to pull the bucket under the water faucet, I just kicked the bucket under the tap, under the water faucet. And then I heard a voice of someone from behind me asking me, "What are you doing?" I said, "Just filling in water to rinse my clothes." This elderly monk said to me, "Oh, I can see that, but what are you doing?" I said, I'm just rinsing my clothes." He said, "I can see that, but what are you doing?" Being a little shocked at the way he was bringing this up, I said, "What are you hinting to?" He asked me, "Why are you kicking the bucket?" I said, "Look, it's a bucket, not you. Why are you so concerned and why are you so bothered about just a bucket, right?" You know what he told me? He said to me, "It's not about a bucket. It's about an attitude of insensitivity. If you treat your things insensitively, you will end up treating people, nature, the resources on the globe insensitively as well. Start with the smallest things in life, and you will see how that attitude starts percolating in the larger things of life as well." So that experience was transforming to me, that it was a bucket, but it taught me a very important lesson of sensitivity that we were talking about in terms of climate change. And as he was asking about what, on a personal front, what do I do to contribute in dealing with climate change, I would say there's 3 things I try. It's just a humble attempt, not that I can never claim I do any of those things. The first thing is, I try to live a life of conscious consumption. We all have to start living a life of conscious consumption. Today we are living a life of unconscious consumerism, and we have to shift from unconscious consumerism to conscious consumption. Ladies and gentlemen, we can talk about climate change a lot, but as Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. And which is why we need to live by conscious consumption. The second thing that I try to do in my humble way is try to spread awareness about conscious living. If we cannot spread awareness and educate people, we are only talking. We have to make this awareness go to every person in the world. And the one thing that takes it to the world today is social media. Recently we made a video on environment, and we spoke about conscious living and conscious consumption so that awareness spreads. So conscious consumption, awareness of conscious living, and the third, which is a proposal that I have and we are working on it, is conscious production. So yes, conscious consumption, conscious living, and conscious production are the things that I personally try to look at in my way of adding value to the world that we live in.